So this is the Combat Station. I'm your host, Ty Matthews, and today we have a very special guest on, Raush Manfio. Now, how you doing, mate?
I'm great. I'm great. Everything
Now,
good. Great.
now, obviously, first of all, congratulations on your great performance in the PFL. Beautiful knockout. But now I'm going to ask you, how would you rate your performance out of 1 to 10?
Man, I didn't like my performance during the whole fight, but I'm happy with the result. When I push really hard, I got the knockout. I know I can do that. Every time I push myself to the limit, I have more chance to win the fight. But I'm not happy with the performance at all. But Don Madge is a really tough opponent, so all respect to him.
Now, going into the final round, you were down on the scorecards. Now, were you aware of this? And what were you thinking in your corner going into that final round?
Uh, to be honestly, my corners told me they didn't know who they gave the second round. We just knew about it. I was down in the scores after the fight was over. So, but they told me we need at least a knockdown. At least a 10-8 for in the third round. Now I know if I put a 10-8, the fight would be a draw because I lost in the for the scores. But I think the second round I was better, but I lost in the scores. So we need to push, and I was trying to at least a knockdown. A totally dominant round, and I couldn't knock him out.
How would you rate that knockout out of 10 compared to the rest of your career knockouts? Is that the best knockout you believe you've got?
No, I think the best knockout was in my first fight in the United States. I was fighting in the Titan FC, and I threw some knees, and like Vanderlei Silva style, I dropped the guy like that. Was a beautiful knockout, and it was special for me because it was my very first international fight, and I won like in the best way possible in the second round.
Now, how you been spending your time after the fight? What you've been doing to enjoy, obviously, your victory?
I have been going with my family. This week we're going to the zoo. We need to go to the aquarium in the Miami, like museum stuff. This week is just for family, Wherever the kids wanna go, I go.
Now, there was a bit of controversy about the event as you being the PFL lightweight tournament winner last year, you were the co-main event. Now, how did you feel about this when you were told you were the co-main event?
I think make no sense at all. Like I think me and Antonio Shoeface supposed to be the main event and co-main event. Doesn't matter the order. He couldn't make the main event and I co-main event, or I main event and he co-main event. But I understand the business part. They took the risk and put Jeremy Stephens as a main event with great call, and because they are great fighters. But I think was a higher risk they took, because if Jeremy Stephens have won that fight, in my opinion, that would be bad for the business, because the guy come from a couple of defeats in the UFC and like beat the guy who got in the playoffs last year. So like maybe they put some idea in the public like, oh, the guy who came from defeats in the UFC can win in the PFL, was not good for the business, in my opinion. So if I was the boss, if I were the boss, I would never put this. Like after first the champions, then we can go. Then we think how we're gonna put the card in order, because the champions of the show need to be more valued than the other persons. That's my
Now,
way to think.
mm. Now, your friend Nathan Schultz, he fought on the card. He obviously lost a split decision. How is he handling the loss, and what did you think of his performance?
He is one of the best athletes I know. To be honest, I score the fight, the second and the third round. in his favor. So in my opinion, he won the fight. I respect the judges, but I think he won the fight. Of course, he's sad, but we need to think in the next fight. We have more 7.5 weeks to the next fight, and we have no time to be sad. We need to prepare for the next one, and he's totally able to beat everybody in the show, and when he's really prepared for, and he start in the first round strong, is I don't know anyone to stop him.
Now, who do you want to fight next in the tournament? Is there any matchup you'd like the most?
Man, I would love to fight Anthony Pettis again and make this rematch, but I don't know if this is possible because he didn't fight yet, and I think he gonna make the same, like he's fighting 2 weeks after all the other lightweights, so probably who gonna fight him is going to fight 2 weeks after the all the other lightweights too, and he need to lose to fight against a guy who win, and I think he gonna win this fight. I think it's a really good fight for him. He's an extraordinary fighter, and I think he's a totally favorite, and he gonna win this fight. So, uh, in the other hand, I don't know. I have no favorite matches to fight next. Maybe Jeremy Stephens would be great.
Hmm.
I think his style match really good with me, and he came like crazy bar fight guy, and I have a really good counter attack, so his style met really good, and I think, yeah, Anthony Pettis or Jeremy Stephens would be my favorite picks.
Do you think the PFL format of basically non-stop fights, do you think that's has been helping your career being very active?
Yeah, I love this style. This format for me works great because I can make my weighting cut really fast. As far I'm like 187 right now, and
Hmm.
but it's because it's the dehydration process. When you return, you recover a lot of weight. But I can. Last year, I made 2 weighting cuts in 2 weeks because I
Hmm.
almost fought Nathan, and they changed the fight to fight Anthony Pettis with the condition I make the weight again, and I totally accept because I didn't want to fight my friend. So the show works good for me. I have no injuries from this fight. I feel great. I'm restart my training sessions tomorrow, so 1 week off, and now it's recovering process. Start little by little and rush in the last like 3 weeks, and that's it. I like it. I like it, and financially is really good.
Hmm. Now, how has winning that 1 million from last season changed your life?
Imagine how you think if I put 1 million in your pocket, how would change it? It's the same thing for me. So change everything. I could like live more comfortable, no have a parallel job, no second jobs. I just fighting now, focus on my career. Uh, it's everything changed for better. Really, really good. My daughter go to private school now because she has no age. She's not old enough to go to the regular school. So she's just 3, so mommy can rest more. I'm living just next American Top Team. I can go walking. It's like a
Hmm.
half mile. So, and I move here because we decide to move here. So to stay close from the trainings. Life is easier because I'm not concerned anymore to pay the rent.
Hmm.
I bought a nice car, so this makes me happy every time I get into that. But this God changed our life totally. But during the training sessions, nothing changed. We
Hmm.
keep the hard worker process. no favorite fighters in American Top Team. They treat everybody equal, and we go strong.
And PFL, have they bumped your pay going? Have they gave you more better pay going into the next season? Obviously, because you did win the belt last year, so that must be helping as well.
Could you repeat the question for me? I'm sorry.
And the PFL, they must have put your pay up going into this season. You must be getting paid more than just naturally for fighting now.
Yeah. But when you sign the contract, you sign for 2 years. So I signed for 2021 and 2022, and this contract has like they can pay you much more money than the last season. So you would think like, oh, but you are the champion. But the contract protects the show. So for this season, my salary increased, but not that much.
What was the first thing you bought when you got the million? Was there anything that you bought that,
The
you
car,
know, the
my
car, was that
car.
the first thing?
Yeah, like nice thing I bought. The only thing I bought a nice was the car. The rest I just pay the bills. I moved to apartment next to the American Top Team, but I didn't borrow the apartment. It's just rent. And I invest the money. But the car, I customize the car. I wrap all the stuff, and it's something this really make me happy. I really like this car.
Now, in the PFL, what has been your biggest win personally for you so far?
Against Anthony Pettis for sure, because Anthony Pettis is Anthony Pettis. He's a legend. I am his fan, you know, and after put that win against him, forever doesn't matter what happened. You have a win against Anthony Pettis, and this is good for sponsors. This is good for all other fighters know my name right now. So it was my favorite fighter until my favorite fight until now for sure.
What are your future plans for your career in general? How long do you want to fight for? And where would you like to stay with the PFL?
Oh, really good question. I have been planning. Only God knows my life in God's hands. I'm Christian, and I totally trust in the process. If God asks me to stop right now, I stop. If I feel in my heart like, oh, it's time to stop and do something else, I will do. But I'm planning to fight more 6 years. So I'm 30. I want to fight until 36, 37 maybe. Because more important in the PFL format, 6 years fighting is a lot. Because you have like at least 3 fights a year. Even if you don't go to the playoffs, if you want to fight in the like a regular match, they would give me for sure. And so 3 fights a year, like in 7 months, 3 fights. Normally, if you go to the final, it's 4 fights in 7-8 months, and you put these 6 years like 20 fights, 24 fights, and it's a lot of fights. And so I think that's why I think 36, 37, I will be enough. But I have this fire in my heart, and I will fight until I feel like this inside of me, because I really love to fight. This is like a really moment I enjoy when I'm fighting. I beg in God my whole life to live what I'm living right now. Am I super happy in with this moment I'm living.
Now, after another year or two of PFL, would the UFC be something that you do want to tick off before you do retire?
Man, I'm totally happy with PFL. UFC is just like if they make like a really good propose, financially. Of course, it's nice. UFC, you get a. Today I have almost 12,000 followers on Instagram. It's real followers. I don't buy followers. So, but if I go to the UFC, for sure, I go for 200,000 followers in 1 year. So they deserve. They are like the more traditional show, everybody asking me like, oh, you fight MMA or you fight the UFC? You know, they don't realize MMA is the sport, UFC, the name of the league, because UFC works so hard to become the #1 show, more traditional, and would be nice if one day I fight there, but it's not my dream anymore.
Where would you rank yourself among the world's current lightweights? Let's say top 15. Where would you put yourself in that?
Where I put myself in the top 15 in the
Yeah.
UFC?
In just
Top,
MMA in general.
oh, I think today I deserve a top 10 contender.
Mm.
I think in the end league, if you, I know have a great fighters, and maybe even top 5, you know.
Mm.
But that's it. I feel I deserve today in any show in the world. I would be, if you put all the best fights together in the division, at least top 10. But I think top 5, I would be among the names.
And mate, we'll probably wrap up in a minute, but any message you have for your fans out there?
Yes, for sure. I put my life in the Jesus Christ hands. That's my message. God opened the door where has no wall. I was cleaning office at night. My life, financial life, was like doing really bad. I was working Sunday to Sunday to provide to my family, and God opened this door, and I told like, God, I will always tell about your name, and I will honor you. Doesn't matter where I go. So in every interview, I tell the same, because I know persons are struggling with emotional problems, with financial problems, with family problems, and I truly believe the only answer for these problems is the true love of Jesus Christ. So God pick even the crazy guys like me, the MMA fighter. Who can believe an MMA fighter can talk about faith and love, and maybe because he wanna reach persons at this segment, and the MMA fans worldwide. So I need to talk about my Savior always, and this moment is like I try to honor him in every interview I give, because he changed my life. My life didn't change because I am a good fighter, because I put myself to work really hard. I did that, but it was not enough. When he decided like, okay, now is your time to shine, and I'm living my dream right now.
Amen to that, brother. Well, thank you for your time on the show. Means a lot. I wish you the best of
Thank you.
luck in your next
I
fight and
appreciate
your
it.
career going forward. And this is the Combat Station, and we are out.